Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. Sister Audrey is back with you for another issue and commentary on Flint Unite. It's been a long week, Brother Mickey. It's been a long, long week. I had to think about what all done happened this week because so much has been going on and happening this week. And as we always do before we get started, we like to let Mickey go out and give that disclaimer for 810 News Media.
The views of Sister Muhammad are not those of 810 News Media Group. The floor is yours, sister.
Thank you. So Spacely Sprockets doing his job. He do a great job with giving us that and letting us know that 810 News Media Group is definitely on spot. There's been so many things that they've been on spot with this week. As always, I would like to go into the commentary before we get started. Tell you all to like and share. Ask a friend to join and subscribe to us. If you are not already a subscriber, please subscribe on YouTube. Please subscribe and go in and like the page on Facebook and social media. We need you. We also ask about donations to you. We'd like for you to give us a donation. I missed saying it last week, but I did put it in the comments for us to please donate to 810 News Media Group. We know we have to keep everything going. You can donate through Cash App, $ 810 News Media Group. Please do not hesitate to share this. I was kind of happy that a couple of people that I asked to subscribe and watch my show on Sundays, they actually told me, they said, so they have a show all week long? I said, every day. 9 to 11, we have the bump that comes on. So you got to join in so you can keep up on what's going on here in Flint. I mean, I got patients at the nursing home that I work at, and they asked me, what am I listening to? And I had to tell them. So one of them, I put it on speaker so she could hear a little bit. She said, okay, I like that. I'm going to have to sit down with her this week and try to help her get herself where she could go in and listen to it on a regular basis so she can know what's going on in Flint, because just know that people around the country, around the world are still concerned with Flint. Overall, the things that we got going on here, the things they concerned with our safety, they concerned with us not having our water fixed because it's not fixed. They basically are concerned. So I say to you all, hold tight. We're gonna be doing a water drive, right, Mickey? Is the water drive gonna be coming up soon?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so y'all stay tuned. We'll be telling you all how you can donate for us to get water and pick it up, or you can donate money, whichever way is easiest for you. I know during the water crisis when it first started, a lot of people were sending money and buying water through like Kroger's and Walmart, and then we just went and picked it up. They sent it there and have it picked up for us in our name. It made it a lot easier. And I mean, they kept the water coming in and it made it easy. So then you didn't have to pay for transporting water to us. But of course, if you want to come this way, we welcome you. We welcome you with open arms. And I'm excited. I'm ready for that to happen. And I'm ready to get out there, lift a couple of cases or a couple of bottles. I'm just kidding. I'm gonna lift a couple of cases and put it in some cars and take out and deliver. My big thing is we can't forget our elderly, our sick, and our shut in, but we also have to remember those who work during the day. I always think about the mom or the head of the household who has to work and they have the car and transportation, and by the time they get off from work, there's nobody's giving out water. They need help and assistance too. So we got to think about all of them and everyone that's actually doing it, and anybody who lives in Flint deserve to have water. Everybody, not just those who can get there to pick up the water. We just, everybody deserve water, because we are definitely not fixed. Today is day 28 of Ramadan. Ramadan Mubarak to everyone, and Assalamu alaikum, because we are closing out Ramadan this year. We just had the night of power on Friday night, going into the 27th day. Um, good energy, great energy. Always, always during Ramadan, we do a lot of fasting, of course, praying, um, increasing our spirit, giving away. Every week, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan has fed in Chicago 1,000 plus people. And he asked that each individual city get out and do some feeding of some of the people in the community. So some of the different charities and some of the different shelters, food has been going out to them here in Flint and then in the other cities around the country, which has been a great response. And I know over 30,000, if I read correctly, the last message that I got, over 30,000 meals have been fed to the community across the country, which is really really great. um, and we never seem to disappoint. I know a few years ago I was sharing Brother Mickey, we here in Flint, we took dinners to the sick and shut in once a week. And we did that. That was a good thing. They loved it. If you all don't know, we kind of had a little thing going about the fish hoagies, which we gonna have to get ourselves back out and start doing that again. Having a doing the fish hoagies with some chips and um, I think I stepped over a little bit and did homemade cookies, not no store bought cookies. I made some homemade cookies, and a couple people that knew my mother, who was an excellent baker, um, actually said, "Oh, these cookies taste like your mother's cookies," which made me feel good because then they compared me to, I think, the greatest baker that I've ever seen. We all got our parents that we say, no, no, my mama baked real good. No, no, my mama baked good. They all was excellent bakers. But of course, being in a household with her, she always baked so well, so well, so well. So on this 28th day, we say um, we have the app called the Adhan, which gives us the time of prayer for every day. During the month of Ramadan, we up an hour before that first prayer in the morning, doing what we call sahur, which is breaking our fast. We eat prior to that if you're going to eat. Then that way we're fasting the whole entire day until it's time to break fast in the evening with the Maghrib prayer. We have the 5 prayers a day, but that's the fourth prayer, and that's when the sun is getting ready to set. And then we eat again and drink again. So we're sustaining from out without water and food. Now, if you're sick, of course, you don't want to sustain and keep yourself from off of the water if you got to take medications for whatever reason. But I'm one who I just rearrange my medications to take them so that I am able to fast. That's the sacrifice that I made. And actually, things are feeling so much better in me. My blood sugars are better. My blood pressure is better. A lot of the things that's going on. I kind of got sick the other day. I had a bad toothache, so I had to break it. So that's okay. I broke it. I do one or two things. I either make that day up after Ramadan is over with, or I go out and feed somebody else. I know you see somebody that needs. You always see people out that's hungry and that need something. But that's something we should be practicing and doing throughout the year, not just during the month of Ramadan or during the month of Lent or during the time of Lent. I'm not for sure exactly how long Lent lasts, but or I had talked to a lady at work. She said she fasts every Friday. So and that's through her church. I think she said she's Pentecostal. And I was like, okay, see, we all do something that's similar. Might be a little different our ideologies, but guess what? We all the family of God. Just know that we all are the family of God. But today our principle is to practice modesty. And in the day of the things that we see that's going on in our community, it don't hurt for us to think about that principle every day. Practice modesty. Modesty ain't just only the way you dress. It can be also the way you think, the way you react, the way you act on different things. We all have our moments. I don't say that we are walking angel. Ain't none of us a walking angel. But we do practice and try and strive hard to make sure that we're practicing those different principles. And so just make sure that, you do that. Love someone today. Show some love, some kindness to somebody who's less fortunate than you. That's the thing. Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, I have to say what I've heard him say, which was he said the best religion to practice is to do unto others as you wish to be done by. So you can call yourself Christian, Muslim, you can call yourself Jew. Don't make a difference. You can be in whatever denomination. But the goal is to treat others fairly and treat them right, treat them kind, treat them the way you would like to be treated. So if you stealing from somebody, just know that's how you want somebody to treat you, to steal from you. So don't be surprised. And I'm not condoning stealing, but I'm just making that as a point. We have to do better. Um, Tomorrow, total eclipse. How many of you all got your whatever them kind of glasses is you need? They was telling you to make sure it's a certain number or whatever, and it's something. I'm wondering if the planetarium had them, and you can go down there and get them. I think it happened about 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Do you know for sure, Mickey, around what time they saying the thing is supposed to happen, the total eclipse? But I know
Don't let me lie to you, but it's Monday, right?
it's Monday. I just know I got a couple of my patients at work saying, "You ready for the total eclipse?" But I know in certain areas of Michigan, you can't see it. You won't see a total eclipse. We'll
Oh,
see
okay.
about 90%. The best places they saying to go see the total eclipse is actually in some places in Ohio. I want to think it's close to Toledo. The reason why I say that is because there's a city in Michigan called Luna Pier, which
Mm,
is just south of Monroe, right along the river, lake, right along the lake. I think it's right over there. It might be in not the St. Clair Shore. It's south of there, but it's near, real close to Ohio, and it's called Luna Pier. They say that's the best place to see the total eclipse here in the state of Michigan. Luna, Luna Pier, Pier. And I've seen that exit when I've gone down 75 going into Toledo. I've seen the exits talking about Luna Pier, but I'll be at work, and I guess we'll all probably schedule and go and look and see what we can see if they got glasses. And I'm hoping that they get glasses for some of the residents, because I recall when I was, I'm gonna say when I was a baby, because I don't want you all to know how old I am. But many of y'all do. So back in the early '80s, when I was in school and I was a little baby, I remember there was a eclipse then. And it was interesting because we got a chance to see it out of our classroom window. Actually, we could see that it got dark and then it got light again. So that was cool to see. And I forgot when the next time they said the next one will be in 2047 or something like that. I don't know about y'all, but I plan to still be here when the next one come. And I said that'll be cool because cool for the people to see, the children to see. I'm hoping that at the schools they got glasses for them or whatever else. I'm gonna try to go out and try to make sure I have some so I can have them available for me. But anyway, just if you do, don't look at it directly unless you have those glasses because you want to protect your vision. My understanding, it can mess up your retina if you're trying to look at it with the bare naked eyes. You don't want to do that. We don't want any eye damage and getting blindness. It might not affect you right away, but it can affect you later on down the road. So make sure that we do that. Before I go too far in, as many of you all know, I'm an occupational therapist. If you see me, show me some love because this is Occupational Therapy Month. So, we do a lot of the things with the upper body. We do a lot of hands-on. We treat the hands, the arms, the shoulder. Sometimes physical therapy do it too, but we kind of make them more meaningful once you get the chance to have an OT. So, physical therapy might say, we're going to try to build up your strength in your arms. So then we say, well, why do you need strength in your arm? You need it to help you get dressed, to cook, to clean, to be able to eat and feed yourself. If we have somebody who have some feeding issues, a lot of times I'll treat along with the speech therapist because the speech therapist is working on you swallowing, but I'm working on you helping you get the food and helping make sure you don't have any tremors, whatever it is, to get the food to your mouth. In the bathroom, we try to help make sure you have the proper equipment for safety. Everything is done for safety. We always try to make sure that the people are staying as safe as possible. Um, we do standing activities because why do you need to stand? You need to stand to be able to get in the cabinet so you can get dishes out to feed yourself, or stand to cook a little bit or stir because most stoves are not handicapped accessible heights. Most cabinets in your house are not handicapped accessible heights. You may have a table you can stir some food on, but you still got to do what? Get it into the oven or on top of the stove. So this is OT month. So I love OT. Maybe that might be something I might do and do a little segment and show some different equipment that I have. And I'll start doing that next week, like basic things. I had a young lady yesterday, a couple of days ago, that I saw and she couldn't get her socks on. She couldn't take them off. She couldn't reach them. I said, "Do you know I have equipment that can help you with getting the socks off, like the reacher, or helping you get your socks on, the sock aid, or if you got to go take a shower, the long handle sponge. You can get a lot of that stuff at the dollar store, the sponges, and a lot of times you can get reachers in the store. But I will tell you this: some of those reachers, they have the little sponges, the little suction things on the end. They're good for helping get canned goods and things out your cabinets, but they're not good with helping you get dressed. So some of the proper equipment that you would need, if you would, if you want to, you can Google or go online and say hip kit, hip kit, HIP, hip kit, KIT, because it's the kit that we use with the long handle shoehorn and stuff that we use when patients have hip replacement surgery because the doctor limits you and won't allow you to bend more than 90 degrees of flexion of your trunk. So if you're sitting, and I'm sitting right now, I'm at 90 degrees. How can you get your socks and things on or take your socks and shoes off if you're sitting at 90 degrees? And you can reposition yourself to make it where it's easier and you're not doing it. But if you go more than 90 degrees, you risk re-injuring the surgical spot, pop a loose, you have to go back in for more surgery. So make sure that you follow those instructions that your doctor give you when you had a surgery. So I just wanted to say that real quick so I could just say happy OT month to any of my OT friends that are out there listening. Want to wish you a good happy month, and hopefully you all do some festive things. Hopefully next week I can get a chance to do some festive things. I got a coworker who last day is on Friday. I think I might try to take some stuff in for her for her goodbye farewell. She'll be still working with us, but just not on a regular basis. But then also celebrate our OT month for the month. So, but anyway, um, I just wanted to address yesterday or the other day, not yesterday. I'm looking at things the other day, but anyway, um, Carol, our dear sister Carol, talked on her show on Friday, her and Clack's show, but she was on there Friday by herself, I think, because Clack is traveling. But she talked about canning, and Carol just don't know. Mickey, I should have sent you that picture. You all would be shocked at y'all sister what she done. I'm gonna look and see real quick if I can find it as I'm talking to you, because I'm gonna tell you what, Sister Audrey do like gardening, okay? Sister Audrey do like canning. Sometimes she get a little crazy when she start to doing stuff like how when you start to doing something and it's just looking like it's just going so good and then you just I don't know how do you say it I won't say get fanatical but overdo things. Sometimes I have a tendency to overdo things and I'll just tell you I got ready to can and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, love him, I'm gonna talk about him all day long. But he had he said he had a little epiphany. The sisters and stuff, do they know how to can? He wanted us to learn how to can. And so when he wanted us to learn how to can, he said, um, I had a couple of things. He said, teach the sisters to can because I feel something coming on. And I think our sisters need to learn how to can. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna send these two pictures. No, I'm gonna even send me. So y'all can just see what it is that I like to do. Because I'm gonna just tell you right now, when it comes down to canning, um, the class that we took in our MGT class, just so that you all know, MGT stands for Muslim Girls Training, and it's actually the Muslim Girls Training and General Civilization classes, MGT, GCC. That's what we always call our beloved sisters in the Nation of Islam, MGT. You just do it short. But what we did in our class, we had a whole full class. So Carol, I'm inviting you not just to read the book, but I will take you step by step. So we started out before we even did the class, we had to take a safety class because you got to learn what's safety when you in the kitchen working with knives. You got to make sure you ain't canning something with some equipment in it, that kind of stuff. You always hear the recalls on things, which don't let me get off of here today, Mickey, without doing the recalls. So as you can see on this picture here, all the way to the right where the number 7 is at, that's for high acidic foods, and that's a pressure canner. And so on that table, it has a demonstration of some of the different foods that you would definitely want to can in a pressure canner, like the corn and the beans and stuff, those kind of things. And then you have, I mean, that was a low acid food. Sorry about that. Then on the opposite end, you see the hot water bath, that black pot that's back there. That is where you can your high acidic foods like your fruits, your tomatoes. If you make a tomato paste, if you're doing, you see the lemons and different things. So that was a display we had actually in our MGT class at the mosque that was set up to give us a demonstration on what it was that we had to do to make sure that we kind of understood where we was at. That's the pH scale right there. Trust me, we got to get ourselves together and have a class here in Flint. I'm open to helping with teaching it because I was one of the people that actually took the class. Now I'm gonna have you show one of the other pictures that I put up there. Nope, not that one. Back the other way must be.
I got you, my bad.
Got it. Okay. So we took that class, so we had to learn the steps of how to properly use the knife so we're not cutting ourselves. How to we wanted to basically make sure that the food was safe, was to put on our shelves for a couple of years and to avoid botulism. Now y'all see this table right here? So when I tell y'all I went fanatic. So y'all see all of that stuff I got on there? I got tomatoes, I got pineapple. Stuff was starting to get old in the refrigerator. I took it out and canned it before it do. And I had to say that because I love Vicky Marks. Vicky Marks is one. Every time you turn, she canning something, and I just have to say that. So to the left, those are all jellies that I had made. This is several years ago. And then you got the pickles. Now the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan's instructions to us was he wanted us to do 30 cans, 30 jars of food, and take a picture of it to submit it. Okay, this is all that we had to do for our class. And you see my Canon book back there. You see all of the different equipment I got there on the table that we had to use. The only thing I think that wasn't on that table was the canner itself. I did those all in that black pot. And you got a stainless steel pot, you could do that too. Those are all sealed. And when I got through, I take that rim off the edge of them because if you keep it on there, it can make you have a false seal. So once all of your jars are sealed, what you can do is take that rim off because then you can start testing the integrity of them and every so often go and just see if those lids are loose. Because if they loose, you got to dump the food. Or if you want to make sure your food is staying good. But we were only told to do 30 jars in the hot water bath, and you see how many of them I had. So I told you I got a little fanatical. Some of the green stuff was like jalapeno peppers. I did my own jalapeno peppers. I even did some fruit cocktail. So I have my own cherries, but they tell you to use those one cherries you buy because it's already the juice. So my fruit cocktail came out a little red because I used fresh pitted cherries in mine instead of the other cherries. I made applesauce. When I say I was doing it up, I mean, it became such a habit. I couldn't stop myself. I was just like, I'm like a rollaway train. And I laugh sometimes and I call my sister and say, y'all come get your mama. And she said, what you doing? I said, I'm canning. And that was my mother's thing. My mother canned all the time. And I have to, I'll just have to tell y'all this little funny story about my mom canning. So at that particular time, we wasn't practicing Islam. She had stopped going to the mosque. Okay, there's a picture of me and my baby because she did help me. My little Amaria, that was when she see how little she was. So you can see that was several years ago. And we took those pictures. And I still had to submit that because she wanted to help me do some stuff and set up my table here in my back room. But anyway, my mom was like the can. So this particular time, she decided she was gonna make some great wine. Yep, she was making great wine. Well, she knew she had to loosen the lid on there because it start to ferment and it's gonna just go, right? Gonna go. Actually, that was I did submit to you, but that was somebody else's picture, because that wasn't mine. But that's the navy beans there. But the lady had sister had canned some navy beans and she put her picture up and I took it because I was like, that's a nice picture. I ended up canning my own navy beans. Anyhow, get back to the story. So she didn't loosen that lid. When we came home, It was grape wine all over the ceiling, all over everything in her pantry and stuff. It is still funny to me today. And mind you, I was probably about 6 or 7 when that happened. She just was at the store. She said, "Oh God, I didn't loosen the lid on those bottles." And she said, "They probably already gone." We left the store and went right back home. Yep. It was all over everywhere. So she had to clean down everything in that cabinet. But valuable lesson, those you have to follow, definitely follow the instructions. So, but with the canning, it's some equipment that you can get, different things and different shortcut ways you can take. But definitely we got to get a canning class and get ourselves to going, because right now is going to be the time in what, May and June, you can start doing a lot of the the high acidic things like the fruits and the things like that, because that's when they start to harvesting and bearing, like your strawberries, your grapes. Some of the grapes are later on in the summertime, but you can start doing some of that stuff. Now, I'm gonna just tell you, if you got a glass top stove, do not can on your glass top stove, especially with the pressure canner. The pressure canner you can't do on there. The hot water bath you can. The pressure canner will shake. It starts to shaking, and it's heavy metal. It will crack your glass top stove. So do not use the pressure canner on a glass top stove. If you don't have a glass top stove, they have those little portable eyes that you can use. That's what I use. I had to use mine. I'm gonna tell you, I use butane. The butane run out fast, but once you get that pressure built up, you gotta keep it up. If you don't, you gotta abort the whole batch. So what I did, and I tell you, I did it with absolute care. The only problem was it was in the winter time, and I had to open up doors and windows because I used a little small propane tank, and I had to open up the windows in the house to be able to ventilate, because propane, you can die if you ingest in that. So I had to do it because of the length of time that I needed to can, and it was just so funny. I had to close the one door off, and because I had the babies in here, and I said, y'all just stay on that side of the house so y'all can stay warm. I opened up the side door and the patio door. Just crack them so it's got the ventilation, proper ventilation. But I tell anybody, don't do it. Since then, I have bought myself a gas stove. You can use the electric stove, long as it's not glass top. But I changed over and got me a gas stove. And I love the gas stove. I've had it for a couple of years, but guess what? I haven't canned since, well, I canned one time since I got the glass top stove, and it wasn't even here where I canned at. So I got to get myself back into canning. And Carol was so inspiring yesterday. "You got the can, we got to get the canning," and I like to do that. And she want to farm, and she want to garden, and she want all of the amenities and stuff. And there's some good farms that you can go to. So I'll say this about organic. Most of us say, well, we want to get stuff that's going to be of good quality and organic. When you go to your local farmers, you can ask them what kind of pesticides they use. Most of them will be clear and honest. So I'm gonna just tell you, to get organic, that cost. You have to pay the government to be classified as organic. Many of our little farmers, they don't have the monies to pay to be organic. So they grow food naturally and organically. They just don't have the money to be classified as that. That doesn't mean that they don't have the best quality of food. But go to some of your markets and stuff and buy stuff. Go to the farmers market and visit them. Go to your local the grocery stores that sell organic foods, or tell you that they're locally grown. You do have a few that still use a lot of heavy pesticides, and pesticides are definitely not good for us. And Nikki, I gotta throw this in there too. We talk about foods and things that's being grown. This is not a flag or condoning of the use of marijuana. But did you all know that they use a lot of pesticides on the marijuana plants that they're growing around here, and they're not good. They giving you other carcinogens and stuff from the pesticides that they're using on it. And I'm just saying that because you can take the hint. Be careful of where you're getting that from too. Make sure what you're getting is what you need, is what you're supposed to get. I talked to some of my family members that I know that they use the marijuana, and I said, just be careful. Just be careful, because And it's not a condoning of using the marijuana. Just know that that's my disclaimer. But I'm just telling you, if it can be grown, anything that can be grown, be careful of the pesticides that's being used with it. Anything, beans, coffee beans, it doesn't make a difference what it is. Make sure that you're being careful with that. Um, I'm gonna have you put up the one on the staple goods that we have. That the one flyer. This right here on beginning on April the 21st. You see it say staple goods 25. That's how many times we've done the staple goods program. We've done it about twice a year is when we've done it. It's our national staple goods program project is when we do the bulk foods and stuff. I know I know for certain Joyce McNeil, she's bought from it. She actually called me and said, "When is the next time y'all doing one?" Because she want to get some more, and I told her that I would make sure that I get her the information to it. So I will be sending it to her so she can order. You can order and pay online yourself. You don't have to give your money to us to pay for it, and you can see the different list of stuff we got. Sifted flour, we got pastry flour. Those are whole wheat flours. We got cream of whole wheat. And I'm going to just tell you about that cream of whole wheat. So I decided I like to do cream of wheat muffins, farina bread versus doing cornbread. Easier on your digestive system, tastes great, no problem. But I couldn't figure out why it was so dark. And it's because it's whole wheat. It's not the cream of wheat you buy in the store that's bleached out. That's bleached out. That's not doing your body any good. Okay. You see, we got the wheat muffins and bread mix. We have the farm. They have their wheat seeds. So if you want to grow your own wheat, you can grow your own wheat. The project that we do in the wintertime, and it's down here at the bottom, is vegetables. It's 15 varieties of vegetable and fruit gardening seeds that just comes up into the group, because I bought them and I still have some left because I don't use them all the time. So I do have some. If a couple of y'all want to try to get some of them, there's some things I don't eat, but they're organic. They're not the GMO beans and tomato plants that you find in the store. A lot of those are definitely GMO, because that's what's going on with us with the GMO. We sell the navy beans, 50-pound bag, red beans, small beans, black beans, lentils, two different kind, rice. That the mirror sugar is the raw sugar. That 50-pound bag, that's all that we use in here. I've gotten everybody off the white sugar at my house, except for if they buy something from the store already made. But as far as like putting sugar in their cereal, sugar in anything that they're cooking, eating, they use that 50 pounds. They use some of my sugar there. The honey. Now I'm just gonna tell you about the honey. The honey is good. But just know the best honey to get is honey that's made in the area where you're living, because the honey is made by the bees. The bees pollinate, pull the pollen off of the things that's around us. So if you have allergies to something, this honey is better for you than honey you get shipped in and that you buy at the store, because the bees have pollinated off of those same things that you're allergic to, create the honey, and that's the antidote to having those allergies. So that's something I learned several years ago. I had a gentleman, patient, may God be pleased with him, who had his own bees. And I thought he was crazy, and I thought he had dementia. I had to look at his wife a couple times. He told me he talked to the bees. I said, "You talk to the bees? Okay, what do the bees say to you?" See, that's the sarcastic part of me. Well, what did the bees say? He said, "No, I'm serious. The bees make certain sounds." He said, like he said, a bee will circle around you and they make a certain sound. He said, if you could, it's like the queen bee. If you could kill the queen bee, the rest of the bees will leave you alone. He said, but if that queen bee attack you, all the other bees are going to attack you. And so he listened. He said they make a different sound when they're coming and they scoping you out, and then when they get ready to attack. I said, really? And I mean, and then I heard somebody else say it too. Like I said, I thought the man had dementia when he was telling me. So I just looked at him, and I looked at his wife, and his wife said, "That's what he been telling me all along." And he would go outside. I used to buy honey from him when I lived in Cincinnati. Good honey too. It tastes. I put it like this: if you ever had honey from KFC, they they have the best honey. That honey is so good. I was just like, oh my God, the honey is so delicious. And um it's that, but it's more organic. So, we had the coffee and hot pepper, hot sauce and all kinds of stuff. So we will be putting out more things. And then they have the soap. I'm gonna tell you, those bars of soap are so good. They're naturally made. They're organic. I love it. They had four different scents to them. One was lavender. It had a mint. Had a buttercream, and I can't quite think of what because I don't have it right in front of me now. I usually use the buttercream and the mint. It invigorates me, and then the other one relaxes me. But my daughter liked to use those other ones, especially on the children when she's using the bars of soap. So yeah, it's just really really good. But like I say, we're gonna be going more into that so that way we can us granola. They got cereal on there. They got bread mixes and navy bean soup mixes and stuff like that. So everybody, it's a lot of stuff that's on there. It's a lot of things that we do. A lot of times people don't know that we have these kind of projects, but I want to introduce that to you. So let me give you this. You go to noi.moa.org. Yeah, NOI. No, I told you wrong. NOI for Nation of Islam. MOA for Ministry of Agriculture.org. So there's no dot between the NOI and the MOA. So that's at the bottom of that paper. Go to that one, to that site, and what it'll do is it'll bring up a whole list of all of the items that we have there. You can go in and see right now, even though it's not the ordering phase. But what you do is you look through the list and see what city you're actually in. And you can hit that city. So you'll be ordering directly in that city. Don't order from Flint and you live down in Pensacola, Florida. Don't order from Flint and you out in California. Go into the city that's closest to you. So, like if you're in the LA, the Los Angeles region, you go in there and then you put all of your information in. Every city has its own coordinator. So we have a coordinator here in Flint, that's Sister Carla, and I have vowed that I'm going to help and assist Sister Carla. I'm gonna get copies of these flyers and start making them and putting them out. I'm gonna keep putting this up on Facebook. You might see it as my new Facebook page, profile picture. But when you put in the city that you're living in, what happens is that person in that city will make contact with you and your stuff will come to that city and you make arrangements with them to pick your items up. So what we usually do so that you'll know you're not disappointed, we place the order, and when the last day that they take the order, they usually give a week or two after that for everybody to make sure that their monies is paid in or however they're doing it, or you can pay it right then when you order. Then it takes maybe about a month or two for it to come in because some of these items on here is grown directly and created directly at our farm in Georgia. But some of these things, these items on here are in partnership with other people, like the navy beans. We don't grow the navy beans, but they get the navy beans and they make sure that they take those navy beans and they put it a part of our project. It helps with shipping costs. It helps decrease the shipping costs. So, like, say for instance, if you just ordered a bag of flour, it might cost you $10 to have the whole bag of flour shipped to you. Seem like it's going out the door backwards. But if you got a bulk of things, and I think you can see on this page, it said each city they looking to have a minimum of 500 pounds in order for them to qualify to get it into those cities. These cities actually get 500 plus pounds. I think one time in Flint we had almost 1,000 pounds. So just know we get the pounds of all of that kind of stuff, and they tell you, you see a bag of beans, you getting 50-pound bags of beans. You get 10 people to get bags of beans, there you go. That's 100 pounds. But what we do, we make sure we get those in and we let you know and keep you up to date on what things are going, um, of how things are going, so you can order that. If you got any other additional questions, you can see it. I'm going to actually get Sister Carla on the show. She's going to be one of my guests coming up real soon because we want to make sure that you all know. And then I'll be talking about this every week because we got to get our people to where we can start buying things that's going to be organic and better for us to use, and then learning how to preserve it. So you get the heavy duty storage bags, and you can go to some of your local farmers and get those bags. A lot of them sell those bags, and then you can either store them in those bags or you can take and do what? Can it. See, we taking you back to the canning. All right, Carol, get ready. Get them hands ready because we're gonna do some canning, and we're gonna have to just take us a whole I say episode, a whole weekend, and just this is what we gonna do. Well, this is what we gonna do. We get someplace that we got a nice size kitchen, and maybe 10 of us could get in there and do it, 10 15 of us at the most, and then we can do always do classes again. So I'm going to be trying, because we're in the process of doing AXO, which is a part of the NAACP that actually takes the children off of competition. So we got the literature, then we got the arts portion, and then I'm working as a mentor with the culinary arts. And so we're going to be doing some cooking and teaching the children how to cook, and they go into a national competition in July in Las Vegas. So we're looking forward to doing that, and we got a local competition coming up the weekend of the 19th, 20th, and 21st. So that will be definitely taking place real soon. Hopefully next weekend I'll have more info to be able to give to you all on that, and everything. And then I'll keep us all in prayer. Think about April the 25th is actually the day, 10-year commemoration day of when the water got switched here in Flint. So there's going to be some activities going on that week, and be the will of God, we'll have Sister Claire on here, Sister Claire McClendon, coming on to talk to us a little bit about some of the things and some of the activities, because there's going to be a needs fair where we're going to be giving away some basic needs on that Saturday, that weekend. And I know there's going to be actually a march on that Thursday too. So we want to get ourselves prepared for that. So just know we just want to do the commemoration to make sure we bring notice from not only just us here in Flint, because many of us think the water is okay, but not only just from us here in Flint, but from across the country. We think about the thousands and millions of dollars that actually came into Flint, and yet we still haven't been made whole. We got to go back and make ourselves whole. Mickey, I know we just I know it's sad, and a lot of people don't know it. Winters tell you, when we was in not Grand Rapids, Benton Harbor, that many of the people around the state did not know we were not fixed and whole. I'm like, our water still, we can't drink it without filters. You know, some of us are, I say we all are blessed, but some of us have been blessed a little more than others. Like, I have a whole house filtration system, but I have to pay $150 to switch those um filters out when it's time to switch them out. It costs me to fill, but it's nothing. You can't put a price tag on the safety of your family and being able to eat and do what you're supposed to do and be clean with doing what you're doing. So I have to say, they say once a year, but after I showed that filter, I said, no, maybe I'll go back and do 6 months and see what the filter looked like in 6 months. And I think I set the date, so I think I did that. Was that in December? I'll go back and look and see what that day when I did those pictures. I think it was in December. So I think I did it right around the winter solstice. So I said I changed things according to um, the changing of the season. So that means in June I need to be changing my filter again. I'm gonna change at least that one that's not as expensive. I'm gonna change that and see how that is. And if that one ain't looking right, I'll go on and get that other one too. But after a while, our skin start to get irritated again and start to breaking out because the water just ain't clean. It ain't good. And this is not a knock on anybody, but when you have a city who's poison, you have to treat us with all honesty and fairness. You cannot treat us like we a number or we don't matter. Um, Everybody deserves clean water, no matter how poor you are, no matter how rich you are. We all deserve clean water to drink. Mickey, you got something to add on? We're going to cut it little. Well, we're not really cutting it short. We're about at 45 minutes. You got anything to add on?
No, I'm gonna be quiet because I started a lot of trouble Friday.
All right, brother Mickey, we got you. We know you got. Oh, I would be remiss if not to say this, and then I'm gonna go back and ask people to like, share, of course, and subscribe to 810 News Media Group on YouTube. Look us up on Facebook. Look all of the people that's on there. We got our shows. Of course, you have me every Sunday at 5 o'clock. You have the bump Monday through Friday, 9 to 11. And I tell you what, there's some days I'll be like, okay, I might get in trouble at work because I'll be cracking up laughing, or I'll be wanting to just scream or something because you already know. And so I have to sit and be quiet when I'm there at work working. But I listen, I hear a lot of the stuff, and I can see a lot of the stuff every on Monday through Friday. Then you have on Friday. Friday was a hot day. I don't know about y'all, but Friday was hot. You had the bump, then you had Trevor with Clack, and Art was on there this week. But you got Friday, Trevor Rant. You got you have on Thursday evenings at 6. She had Sherry Gay Dagnago is how you pronounce her name. I know a lot of people it's hard to pronounce, but it's Dagnago. She had her on there, excellent show. Then you have so on Friday lineup is the bump, then you got Trevor, then you got Clack and Carol at 5. Then you have Sister Circle at 6. I'll say 6-ish, because depending on how long Carol and Clack go, they come on right afterwards. Then you have Ashley Rich be on Friday night at 8 o'clock. Then you have Tanya coming on Saturday mornings, giving you the up and up. And Sister Tanya, we keeping you in our prayers because we know that what we seen this past week should not have happened. We just all got to start to calling in, and we even if you say, "Oh, they ain't gonna do nothing," don't listen to the naysayers. Call. The thing is you got to set that paper trail up, because if you don't do nothing, ain't nothing gonna get done. Just do something, because you never know. God hears your cries, so don't ever think that don't nobody hear you. God always hear your cries. And don't think that he ain't gonna take action, but he gonna take action when it's time to take action. That's what's gonna happen. And so we only got 2 or 3 people saying something is wrong. When is the masses gonna be disappointed and start saying something is wrong and we gotta do something about it? That's when we start to getting more and more help and support. And you'd be surprised at the doors that opened up. And like I said, last week I seen Dana Nessel. And even though she may be a part of the problem, but why not call her office and let her know, though you are part of the problem, we gonna still give you the business because you supposed to be down here taking care of business. But do she have her office still? Do you know she still got her office here in Flint? Because remember, she opened up an office for a minute when they did that little turn about or whatever they did when they was gonna bring those charges against them, Snyder and them.
Mm,
I don't know if
sure.
that office is still open. If somebody know that office is still open, post it. Let us know. But I think back to when Snyder said he didn't do nothing about the stuff in Flint because he didn't think the people here cared.
Mm,
How you dare tell us you don't think we care about being poisoned? That's what he said. That was his response when we started saying it. Maybe we need to take a trip up to Lansing, a quiet trip. When I say a quiet trip, don't let them know you're coming. We always got
mm,
to let them know we coming. They don't need to know what we doing. That's our
mm,
problem. That's the reason why we don't get nothing done. Because we always got to run our mouth. And then you got to weed out them dissenters and all them other folks in
mm,
our group that comes in because they want to come in so they can just know. So they can go back and say, well, I don't tell them I told you, but they going to be down here this week. So you give them the enemy the chance to run and flee before they can even sit up and you can be able to get your case presented to them. We got to stop. We got to weed them kind of people out because everybody that say hi to you and that they know we poison, all of them ain't on the board with helping us to get taking care of the problem in the situation. So a lot of them is there as spies. Just know that. Y'all getting weeded out. We weeding you out. We starting to figure out who it is. It's easy to test the weak link. It's easy to figure that out. So you gotta figure out who those narcs is in your group. And some of them do it innocently. Hey, why don't you come on and go with me? Because we're gonna get ready to go up to Lansing. And then you don't know that person telling somebody who's a weak link who ain't even a part of the crew. So they got their way of trying to slip their ways in on us and everything. But keep Tanya definitely in your prayers, because she is gonna be a catalyst to getting us into a different direction. We look at what happened with Councilman Mays and it didn't work out, but that's okay because he was a stepping stone to get us to the next level to help us to
Mhm.
get it worked out. So now we learned what the mistakes was. And I ain't gonna say that everything that's gonna happen with Tanya gonna be foolproof. But that's going to be another step to helping us make sure we know what direction we need to take it. Stop thinking that you can't write. I have to say this to Jerry Winfrey Carter and to Dennis Pfeiffer and to anybody else. We all should start writing last year. We should have started writing when they started going in on Eric Mays. One of the things, and I hate to say it, but one of the things I had to say when I viewed my brother laying horizontal, I said, I'm sorry I did not fight harder. That's it. I didn't. We could have. I'm trying to make sure I don't whelp up, but we could have fought a little harder for him when he was here, and maybe he wouldn't have been there. Maybe he wouldn't have been in the position he was in. Maybe we would have got things done. And I'm not saying we don't know what could have changed, but don't give up and get up and do something. That's all I'm saying. Do something. Write a letter. We trying to devise a letter. Maybe we can send the letter out to you. You can change it and make it be more from your heart. But we gotta write letters. We gotta make sure that we take care of the tyrants that's in charge of us and making sure that we stay in poison. That's all I'm gonna say. You making sure we stay in poison. If you haven't helped us, you making sure we stay in poison. Look at all of the dollars that came in with Weaver. Where they go? She was out there acting. She was in Vegas with Cher the other day. Cher gave us water. Where'd all these people that was supporting us, they all just disappeared? No, they ain't disappeared. They thought we was made whole. So we got to get out there and make sure that they know and understand we are not whole. So Mickey, I'm gonna let you take us out. Do something good for yourself. Donate to 810 News Media. Cash App, $ 810 News Media Group. Like and share, and we'll see you all next week, same time. We love you. Do something good for yourself and